ground was broken for a reinforced concrete 49 because the city fathers decided it was too costly to maintain. This was owned by Mr. and Mrs. Frank Bloom. Tillie Bloom still lives here because her husband had passed away. Frank Bloom's father, George Bloom, settled on Elk Lake, now Phillips, in 1875. He was employed as a mill hand by John R. Davis Lumber Company for about 9 years. In the meantime, he chose the spot off to the side of the main settlement and built a saloon. And it was open for business in 1884. 10 years later, that building was consumed by the fire that swept through the city of Phillips on July 27, 1894. Construction of the present building was begun immediately, finished, furnished, and opened for business in 1895. It has remained opened ever since. Bloom's General Store added onto the north side of the building, opened in 1900, which is on the right side here of the Bloom's Tavern sign. Young Frank, son of the 7 children, worked in the store and as a delivery boy for his father, also to districts surrounding Phillips. Often farm produce and livestock or poultry were accepted in trade for the merchandise delivered. Frank married Tillie Schmidt of Park Falls in 1926. They had no children, and Frank took over the business after his dad died in 1933. Frank was a member of the Price County Board from April 1957 and served on the city council for 4 years prior to that. The Bloom establishment is furnished with many priceless objects. Most of all the furniture and equipment is the original, dating back to 1895. This is now in the Historical Society listed there. Would you like to get behind the bar?
Yeah, I'd love it if you would.
I can go back there?
Yeah, if you want to, or wherever you want to be, Tillie. Anything you want to do, you're on video camera here now. See, Treese, we did get a shot of her. You said we couldn't do this.
There's a hanging kerosene lamp with crystal prisms hanging from the edge of its painted glass shade, and that takes one back to yesteryear also.
Okay, we got that, Treese.
There's a large frame lithograph of the Pabst Brewery in Milwaukee, right behind you, Walter.
All right, hold on, let me talk.
A large frame lithograph of the Pabst Brewery in Milwaukee hangs on the south wall of the bar room.
Yes. Beauty.
Tillie, can you tell us how old the jukebox is here?
We bought it in 36.
1936.
1936 jukebox.
Is it still working? Still in working order here in 1988.
Put a nickel in it.
It's a Rockola. Square card tables with tiny beer glass shells fastened to the inside of each of the 4 table legs helps to keep the table top dry for those card games being played almost nightly here at Bloom's Tavern.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Only one and only spittoon here in Phillips, here at Bloom's Tavern.
I believe so.
That's right. Do you have anything else to tell us?
No.
You enjoy working here each day. Never any problems with rowdy people?
What do you mean now?
Nobody ever starts an argument here or anything, do they?
No,
Just a nice place to come in and relax. Very nice. This is probably the original wooden floor from the year it was built also.
Tape up and
Behind the bar there is a sign that says the National Register of Historical Places.
oh there.
That's Frank Bloom, Tillie's husband, tending bar.
Uh-huh.
The original back bar, original mirror. Has that cash register been here since?
where are we going to put this?
It's on tape for the nursing home. Film. Film. It'll be on film. On a movie for the nursing home. the doorways are built a little differently, especially on the store building on the right. And naturally the hitching posts with the horses. We are here at the Wisconsin Concrete Park built by Fred Smith, who used to live at this home here on the left and had the Rock Garden Bar south of the home.
Okay, we'll get the house here. We got the house trees.
And the Rock Garden Bar shows.
And then the
this
bar
map.
is over there. We got that.
Besides farming here, he tended bar and
I
built
see.
this park as his hobby. Mr. Smith's final job was this 8-horse beer wagon and team. Unschooled, he created work that was uniquely his own. He once told an interviewer, "You have to be almost gifted to do what I've done." He created more than 200 of a size that has stunned many visitors here at this park. When Fred Smith died in 1976 at the age of 90, he left a legacy to the world on his farm here in Price County at the south edge of Phillips. Having worked and died in obscurity, Smith would be pleased and perhaps mystified to learn that the world now honors the figures he fashioned out of concrete, wire, broken beer bottles, and mirrors. The statues are enclosed by a fence and constitute the Wisconsin Concrete Park. Price County maintains the park as a permanent showcase for Smith's compelling collection of cement, loggers, Indians, oxen, horses, deer, and many other creatures. A native of Ogemaw, Smith had led a full life before he began his hobby of making the cement statues. He had spent 50 years as a logger and had a farm where Wisconsin Concrete Park is now located. In later years, Smith built and ran the Stone Tavern next to the house and park. Although suffering from arthritis at age 65, Fred Smith started filling his yard with mosaics and sculptures, working for 15 years before a stroke disabled him.
Okay, hold a second, tree. Okay.
Fred Smith built this Indian statue, and he claimed she was on the Mississippi River and toured with Lewis and Clark out west. This is the raising of the flag on Iwo Jima. This statue did stand on the other side, south of the Rock Garden Tavern, and in 1977 it was moved over here. Smith's collection is believed to be the largest site of concrete folk art in the world. It has been filmed by Japanese and German television crews and publicized in many national publications. Restoration was taken on by Ruth Kohler. She got the Kohler Foundation of Kohler, Wisconsin, to purchase the property and collection from Smith's estate. Kohler was able to interest the Wisconsin Arts Board in the project and received an endowment from the National Endowment for the Arts to hire 2 artists to restore the works. The artist had almost completed the work when a July 4th, 1977 storm changed and damaged 70% of the figures. The Kohler Foundation turned the site over to Price County in September 1978. Many Price County organizations have contributed to the park's restoration. The fascinating aspect of the Smiths' work is that they achieve an authentic power that keeps them separate from mere curiosities. The restoration after 1977 was done by Sharon Quasar, who also made one of the hangings that's hanging in the State Bank of Phillips. The sleeve from a jacket. That must be to wipe off the moisture on the